Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sacred Lotus. I am an illustration artist and gamer. I decided just a couple of days ago that I would challenge myself and make a couple of videos using selected prompts from my Inktober challenge list. I did mention in my last Inktober video that I am following my own prompt list this year. But because of my job, I most likely only have time for half a dozen Inktober videos. But all of the art I make for the challenge will be posted on my Instagram account, and I will of course do a Inktober sketchbook tour for the drawings when the challenge is finished at the end of the month. My prompt list is on my Instagram as well if you're interested in seeing what I come up with, and you are of course more than welcome to use the prompt list yourself if you should fancy. So I'll let you enjoy the video. The scene depicted in the picture is taken from the Chamber of Secrets, chapter 12, the Apologies Potion. The chapter where Harry, Ron and Hermione had planned to use Apologies Potion to sneak into the Slytherin common room to get information out of Draco Malfoy about who might be behind the attacks on Muggle-born students. In my fan fiction, the sequence of events happen almost in the exact same way, except for one major detail that they fail to take into consideration. The main character of the fanfiction is Ron Weasley's twin sister, who was sorted into Slytherin. Of course, the moment she sees them in her common room in their Apologies disguises, she immediately knows who they are. Being of course that Ron's her brother, and she knows him back to front. And obviously Harry Potter's quite a distinctive personality, and neither one of them are good actors, so pulling off the personas of Crabbe and Goyle, they failed on all points, to say the least. But she decides at that point to pretend not to notice there was anything different about Crabbe and Goyle, and instead of calling them out right there in the common room, she decides to make an excuse to leave the house and goes to head them off in the second floor bathroom before that hour was up. In the drawing, it shows the main character confronting a surprised Ron and Harry with their expression shocked and fearful, with the cauldron of Apologies Potion visible in the shot. The scene goes down as when they rush into the room after escaping the common room, they breathe that sigh of relief that they think they've made it back unscathed. She then proceeds to surprise them by being there and giving them a good talking to about basically on a lot of levels, rating their stupidity for the sheer number of rules they had broken just because they had a hunch that Draco Malfoy just because they had a hunch about who they thought their heir of Slytherin was. All because Draco Malfoy has a tendency to run his mouth, they jump to conclusions. Like, lots of things were said back and forth. She ultimately ends the conversation, but not before threatening to have them both expelled if they were to discuss anything they'd seen or heard while they trespassed in the Slytherin house with anyone outside their trio. Because you can understand why she might be a little ticked off with them for a lot of their actions, because it's a breach of privacy. Because despite people thinking so, Slytherin House are probably among the most vulnerable students, because they have to keep to themselves a lot of the time, because most of the students don't want to know them, because they're convinced that they're gonna double cross them, and their common room is the only place they can actually be themselves and not be judged about it and such like that. So that's the rundown of what's happening in the drawing. So I'm done talking about the scene in the picture, so I'm going to move on and talk about the art. And the prompt for the 1st of October on my list is potions. And normally when I've done art prompts, I've made the prompts the main focus of the drawing, but I didn't want to do that this time, because the scene relates to a part of a storybook. I decided I would have the prompt featured in the story, but it's not the main focus, because I want it to be the reason why those characters are having that confrontation. So so I had it in the shop without actually making it obvious, so that's what the whole thing was about. When I started colouring in the picture, I usually start with the skin tone if there are characters in the picture. I forgot to dip the nib in water before I coloured in Ron's face, so the peach on his face is a little too saturated than I would like. So which made his face a bit too dark. But I played that off as him being red in the face from being caught out on something, because his character is known for that. When he's embarrassed or he's been caught doing something he shouldn't, or if someone's made him angry, he goes red in the face. A lot of the times his ears go a certain colour as well. So I played the happy little accident as that. I'm not very good at backgrounds, so I roughly added in the toilets in the back and the far wall in the back where the window is. I tried adding in a little bit of blue to represent the light that's coming in from the window, because this is like middle of winter, so any light that comes from outside will be reflected off any snow that's fallen, which gives the bathroom its blue tinted lighting and such. I do regret that my white gel pen, which I use for highlights, isn't as opaque as it was when I first got it. So in the bits of the drawing where I needed to have the white there, unfortunately didn't exactly do what I wanted to. So it may be a bit hard to tell if there's any white there at all, apart from the sections of the page that wasn't coloured. I decided originally I was gonna have the main character dressed in her school uniform, the same as the two boys, but I decided to change that and give her a more casual look because it's like Christmas Day, so I would have her looking a little bit like more like she's like dressed up for Christmas dinner, with a like frilly shrug top and a galaxy pattern skirt. That's all I've got to say on the art. So I'll see you all at the end card. anyway, this has been a longest video I've done for a while. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. I really would be interested to know what you've got to say. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see future videos. All the links you need to know about is in the description box below, and don't forget, if you want to see the other drawings in my Inktober challenge, they will be posted onto Instagram, and I'll only be doing a couple of the prompts for videos because I ain't got time for that as much as I want to spend all that time doing it. So I hope you all enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next one.